First home buyers are missing out. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's look at this article from the ABC discussing first home buyers missing out on the property boom as Queensland developers strike out with sunset clauses. Now, these sunset clauses are the biggest bullshit in the world. I don't like them at all. I'm not a fan of them. So yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about sunset clauses. But remember, YouTube algorithm and the comment filter won't like the swearing. So, keep that in mind if your comments get flagged. So, Queensland's property law has come under fire as more developers are using sunset clauses to cancel contracts and leave would-be first home buyers priced out of the market. Gold Coast resident Yasmin Reiser said she signed a contract to buy a 315 square metre lot for $270,000 in the Elevate Estate in Ormeau Hills in February 2021. But after lengthy delays, she was worried a sunset clause could be activated to rescind the contract after 18 months. The registration for the stage that I was purchasing into was scheduled to happen by April 2021. Now, we are in April 2022, and while a lot of work has recently happened in the estate, we're still not at a stage where we will have been able to get that registration and settlement. Now, what you'd hope could happen here is that these people buying could sue the developer for loss of profit or potential profit, or maybe for liquidated damages for the delays that was caused in doing the work. Maybe you could prove that they intentionally delayed the work so they could flip the sunset clause. I don't know, could you? I mean, here's the thing. The only person that's going to win is the lawyers. And we also know there have been so many delays in the construction sector right now. Hopefully the developer will honor the contract that they've signed, but maybe not. Ms. Reiser said that she and several other buyers had a condition in their contract that allowed them and the developer to cancel the contract if the development had not been finalized within 18 months. So they could do it too. So it's for both parties. So it's not really, it's kind of fair, isn't it, for the buyer and for the developer. If they haven't done it for 18 months, you can just get out of it. How many people would appreciate that contract? I don't know that's going to happen by my sunset date in August, she said. A lot of other people in the same situation as myself, first home buyers, people with families, essentially are now in a position where they've had their contracts cancelled. Ms. Reiser said they've been left priced out of the Queensland market, which had obviously skyrocketed since they signed their contracts in late 2020 and early 2021. Yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. They do get their deposit back, but it's not enough to make up the difference to buy now in a crazy inflated market, she said. So could you sue for the difference? Probably not. She worried she might have to submit another contract at a much higher price. Other buyers I've spoken to said during conversations with the developer that they indicated they will be asking another $180,000 on top of the original purchase price. So, bound by legislation. Ormeau Developments, which is developing Elevate Estate, said it was continuing to work towards the completion and settlement of contracted lots at the estate. The project has entered a series of unexpected challenges, and we continue to work with our contractors, the local authority, and neighbouring landowners to resolve these technical issues in a timely manner, a spokesperson said. The project has also experienced unprecedented weather delays that have further impacted on the progress of the development. Ormeau Developments is bound by any legislation regarding off-the-plan contract sales and will abide by that legislation. See, nothing has happened yet. Okay, they're just worried. And these sunset clauses are for both parties. If a developer is dragging their feet, you can get out and get your money back. I wonder how many people, if property was going down and they were dragging their feet, would jump at the opportunity to get their money back. So, councillor was hamstrung. Gold Coast City Councillor Mark Hamill said delay in approving the subdivision had been in part due to ongoing negotiations between Elevate Estate developer and a neighbouring property developer who had an underlying approval over both land parcels. City officers are willing and truly aware of the timing implications on this one, he said. It has been a fair process of them developers trying to negotiate in between each other, and it hasn't been negotiating with councils. Council officers know that there are contracts being cancelled. I think it's fair to say that officers have been attempting to get the developers to get information in, so it could be assessed and they could get decisions out. But Mr. Hamill said he was aware of 6 other projects in southeast Queensland where developers were using a sunset clause to cancel contracts. He said New South Wales had introduced laws that put extra disclosure obligations on vendors so purchasers had greater transparency and stronger protections when buying off the plan. The fact we are so far behind the other states in addressing this is a joke, he said. The protection that should be in place for buyers isn't there. I think the state government needs to question whether they've got the right legislation in place and the right protections for buyers. Queensland Attorney General Shannon Finterman said the issue had been occurring across the state. There'd been an increase, I think, in developers utilising these clauses, she said. The sunset clauses are not in the approved Real Estate Institute of Queensland Law Society contract. Buying a house is a real big decision. And I would urge people to know what clauses are in your contract and make sure you get legal advice. Mr. Finterman said Queensland's property rules were under review. We're rewriting the entire Property Law Act right now in Queensland, it's been a long time coming. I hope to have legislation in the Parliament at the end of this year or next, so the deadline is looming. Any changes were likely to arrive too late for Yasmin, however, who has 4 months until the sunset clause on her contract could be activated by the developer. I'm hanging onto a thread of hope that there is a very small possibility I'll be one of the lucky people that does actually get to proceed with their purchase, she said. I could be another one of those people that misses out. We'll have to see what happens there. So let's have a talk about this. This is the risk of buying off the plan, everyone. That's what you take when you're in this situation. Now, if the roles were reversed, if property was crashing in value, I wonder how many of these people would jump at using the sunset clause to get their deposit back and then offer less to the developer. We'll have to see. I'm still not a fan of these clauses. I'm not a fan of people taking advantage of them, but you need to get legal advice whenever you buy anything off the plan. As a rule of thumb, it's not my preferred way to buy, particularly when people are buying stuff sight unseen. Hey, it could be vaporware. Take care, guys. Let me know your thoughts, opinions on this one. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content I find and present to you here, you can support us via joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon using our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Or if you need an architect, we are very experienced in education, resource, and commercial work. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, at least you get your deposit back. It could be a lot worse. You could be in one of those apartment buildings that's full of issues. Anyway, the only people that win are the lawyers. Should have done law.